Hi, my name is Aaron and this is Good Filmmaking. I don't like being sold to, and I think most people would agree with me. The occasional funny commercial or whatever is okay, but most of the time I like to make my purchasing decisions with as little bias as possible. Looking at the changes in the past decade with consumer habits regarding TV and movies, it's pretty evident we don't like commercials. Look at DVR and Netflix. These are just new ways for us to avoid these commercials. But what about product placements? If we generally don't like being sold to, certainly we wouldn't be okay with films containing paid promotions. But yet I can name so many memorable movie moments that have product placements, as well as a laundry list of movies that I hate because of them. So my question today is, where's the line? The line between what makes a product placement okay and what makes it not. Today, I only want to look at the memorable product placements, the ones that stuck out for being either really good or really bad. I don't care so much about the ones that are just in the background of a shot because they don't call too much attention to themselves. I want to know when a filmmaker makes a product or a brand part of the story, how does it affect the audience?
Got this for you with the market.
What is it?
It's a new product for your skin. You wash your face with it in the morning, and not only does it get your skin clean, it gives you a burst of energy. So if your date doesn't go so well tonight, tomorrow morning you get up, you use this, and maybe you get enough energy to do something else, Grace. Something that's good for you, and maybe even something that's good for somebody else. Something, beautiful, instead of something slightly unorthodox.
Did you get one for yourself? Oh, wait. It's too late. You married the guy.
Fuck, that's bad. When researching this topic and looking at every product placement I could find, I started to list all the criteria that I thought separated the good from the bad, but every single point I wrote down really only had to do with one thing, and that's story. Does this product placement add to the story? Does it take away from the story? Would the movie be different or the same without it? Is it necessary? Is it funny? What other emotions do we feel? All these questions can be traced back to the overall story. And the movies that clearly care about these questions were successful in creating memorable product placements. The ones that clearly don't care about the story and just want to get paid are extremely noticeable. And to me, that's lazy filmmaking. Let's compare some product placements to see if these questions hold up. My favorite one has to be Wilson Sporting Goods from the movie Castaway. The movie creates a character out of a recognizable brand and it totally works. Does it add to the story? Absolutely. Wilson becomes the embodiment of sanity and even humanity for Tom Hanks' character Chuck Nolan. It's arguably one of the character's deepest emotional hurdles to overcome in order to survive.
Sorry! I'm sorry, Wilson! Wilson, I'm sorry! I'm sorry! Wilson! I can't! Wilson!
And any movie that can make you cry over a fucking volleyball is one to pay attention to. This movie wouldn't be the same without it, and that's powerful. Dan Harmon, the creator of two of my favorite shows, does the same thing with a Subway product placement in Community.
Who are you?
Gang, meet Greendale's newest student, Subway.
Your name is Subway.
Yep.
Harmon basically took a product and made a joke out of it, but it was still part of the narrative of that episode.
I've done a lot of successful integrated marketing and stuff before, so I'm not one of those writers that's afraid of it like ruining everything. But I have to have 100% like control over that stuff, and so we just kept saying no to Subway, and then somebody finally said, "Well, what if we just gave you this amount of money and we didn't care what you did?" And I was like, "Okay, well that we can do. We can tell a story that way. It's not like we want to vilify our product placement, but we do need to tell a story with it."
Subway, I love you!
Production!
Could you?
Harmon isn't afraid to use product placements, but he doesn't abuse them like Michael Bay does. Instead, Harmon really cares about the story. If a product or brand can bring comedic or narrative value to the story, he won't hesitate to use it. And that's what separates crap like this from gold like this.
Yeah, I'd like to get a 10-piece McNugget and a bunch of the Szechuan sauce, like as much as you're allowed to give me. In 1998, they had this promotion for the Disney film Mulan, where they created a new sauce for the McNuggets called Szechuan sauce, and it's delicious. And then they got rid of it, and now it's gone. This is the only place we're gonna be able to try it. Is in my memory.
Rick, you're doing this bit while your brain is melting.
Okay, all right.
While there are some great product placements that take the form of characters, there are also some awful ones. For example, Maccabee.
Hi kids, it's me, Ronald McDonald, and I'm on the set of my very first motion picture ever. It's a movie called Mac and Me.
For those of you who don't know this movie, it's basically an E.T. ripoff made in the 80s that has one really out of place scene. Now, E.T. got alright with their product placement, but Mac and Me was poorly executed. Halfway through the movie, something must have went wrong in the projection booth because it looks like they accidentally played a McDonald's commercial.
Dude, listen, those guys were following us. They're here.
Well, what are we gonna do?
I don't know, just keep him dancing. They'll just think he's a teddy.
Okay, pick up the pace. That's very good, Kathy.
The scene feels so out of place and so obviously a paid promotion that it's laughable. The reason this doesn't work is because it doesn't follow basic criteria of product integration. It adds nothing to the narrative. The movie could have just as easily been the same without it. Because of that, the scene sticks out in an unpleasant way. But what about product placements that are meant to stick out? Take Wayne's World for an example.
Well, that's where I see things just a little differently. Contract or no, I will not bow to any sponsor.
The reason the scene works so damn well doesn't have to do as much with the story as it adds to the comedy that this movie has already set up.
It's like people only do things because they get paid. And that's just really sad.
The scene is so memorable because it pokes fun at the very thing it's doing. This self-deprecating humor sticks out in a positive and lasting way. Now, the Wayne's World example is just a small scene within a larger movie, and it doesn't significantly impact the plot. This happens all the times in movies, and like I said, if it's just in the background, I don't have a problem with it. But when a filmmaker takes a small product placement and calls attention to it, it better be done right.
What is that on your feet?
Converse All-Stars, vintage 2004. Don't turn your face up like that. I know you want some. All you gotta do is ask.
And that's where the producers of iRobot got wrong. They took a product that doesn't fit the plot of the movie whatsoever and shoehorned it into the story, no pun intended. Look, we can list and break down so many more examples of good or bad product placements, but what I think it's important to note here is that there's a guiding principle filmmakers should acknowledge. Story is and always will be the most important aspect of filmmaking, and that applies to product placements as well. If you, as a filmmaker, need to incorporate a brand or product into your story, make damn sure it's either going to add to it or serve an overall narrative purpose. If it doesn't, keep it in the background. The product placements that don't follow these rules don't work.
Wow, this sauce is amazing. You said it was promoting a movie?